So here's a question I get a lot from people that wants to invest in real estate. They're afraid, especially rental properties. Like if they get a rental property and they get a tenant and the tenant did not pay their rent, they're going to be stuck. What are they going to pay their mortgage? We'll talk about that in a minute. Hey there, this is KG. I'm a real estate investor in Maryland, DC, and Virginia area. I'm also a real estate agent. I've been a real estate investor for about 18 years now, investing in Maryland, DC, and Virginia region. I also work as a realtor full-time, both of them, helping buyers and sellers. Buyers to buy their dream home, sellers to sell their house, and investors to start creating generational wealth for their families. So if you're looking to buy real estate, to sell real estate, or to invest in real estate, contact me below and I'll take care of you. I am also working this market as an investor. I have multiple portfolios of rental properties and rehab. So as I'm teaching this class, I'm doing the same thing too. And some of the things that I'm telling you is from my experience, how I mitigate the loss. So the question is, what can I do to avoid tenants not paying my rent so that I don't have to dip into my wallet to pay the mortgage? So there's no foolproof to avoid this. Absolutely not. There's no 100% your things to do that your tenants will not pay. There's nothing like that. But there are certain things that you can do to reduce this happening. There's certain things that you can do to reduce your tenants not paying your rent monthly. So the first thing I'm going to say is, as an investor that have a rental property, you want to take care of your property very well. This is an investment, so you want to make sure you take care of your property. That means you invest in it, you make sure repairs are done on time, you have schedule of maintenance to maintain your property. You want to keep your property in tip-top shape, right? If your tenant calls you for a damage, you really want to take care of it quickly. Don't let it wait too long. And you want to also schedule a visit every quarter to visit your property, to just look around and make sure nothing is damaged, and you take care of it. Of course, if you're using a property management company, they do all this, but also these are things to know. But if you're managing the property yourself, you do not want to be a slum landlord. All right, the second thing is, before you rent your property to a prospective tenant, you want to do your background check, a thorough background check, right? You want to call their previous landlord, not their current landlord, because the current landlord may be trying to get rid of them. So what are they going to do? Tell you they're very good. I mean, that's what people would do. So you want to call the previous landlord, like 2 landlords before. You want to call them to find out how they are as tenants. You want to look at who you're calling. Are they living with family and friends right now? Are they living with family? What are they going to tell? They're going to tell you they're good. You really don't want to do that. You want to call a third party that can attest to them being a good tenant, paying tenant. And the other thing that you want to look out for is, when you do the background check, you want to look at eviction services background check. If you see the background check and say they have late payment, filing for late payment, failure to pay rent. So failure to pay rent, they may not go through eviction process, but they have not paid their rent on time. That is why the landlord filed failure to pay rent. So failure to pay rent showing up in your background check is a red flag that you really may not want to deal with this tenant. Because a tenant that does not pay their rent, that is not paying their rent, they're not just going to start with you. They've started before. They're not just starting with you. So you want to look at that and be very, very sure. If you want to go with somebody that had failure to pay rent on their eviction services, they're probably going to go do the same thing with you. The other thing that you want to do also know is you want to know the laws that govern landlord tenants in your jurisdiction. Wherever your property is going to be located, you want to find out about the laws that govern landlord tenants in that jurisdiction. How soon can you file eviction notice? How soon can you file late payments in court? You want to know that. Even if you're going to hire somebody to do that, you want to know that yourself, right? If you have team of people that does this for you, you want to also know what the process is. Even if you're not going to do it yourself, you just want to know. These are things you want to know before you even invest in a property, because there's some areas that their laws is very favorable to tenants, and there are some areas that their law is favorable to landlord. There are some areas that the law is treat everybody the same, so you want to know, and you make your decision even before you purchase your rental property. The other thing is also you want to have reserve 2 or 3 months reserve, so that if things like this happen, you're able to pay your mortgage while you're dealing with your tenant. You also want to have this as part of your expense when you're looking at the property. You want to have a certain percentage as vacancy expense in that when you're doing the expense, when you're doing the projection, so that you are budgeting for this. If it happens, you're covered. If it doesn't happen, that's a good thing. So, but you want to budget for it. All right. And lastly, do not let the fear of this stop you from investing. If you are not in it, you can't be part of it. If you are not investing, you cannot reap the benefit of investing. If you let fear stop you from investing, what is fear going to do to you? The worst thing that can happen is your tenant doesn't pay, then you take them to court. Lastly, you want to be proactive. You don't wait till your tenants have missed 3 months before you make any move. Immediately your tenant is not paid the first month rent. Rent is due on the 1st, and you have 5 days grace period, or however you have your lease. Once they miss that, you want to be proactive. You want to find out what is going on. This is business. You want to find out what is going on. You want to make it official, write a letter, reach out to them. If they're not responding, they take the necessary action, go to court or file your papers. You don't want to wait, because somebody that is not paying your first month rent, by the time it becomes 2 months, how are they going to be able to pay 2 months upfront? It's not likely. So you really want to be proactive so that you can quickly resolve the issue. And if you're using people to help you file these papers, you want to have those people on your team upfront. You know them, so that you can quickly reach out to them so that they can file the papers for you. All right. Like I said, if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in Maryland, DC, and Virginia, reach out to me below and I will take care of you. We're doing this every day, helping buyers buy their dream home, sellers selling their house, and people investing in real estate while they create wealth for their family. So let's get this done for you. All right. Ciao.